Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's Copilot Studio User Group gathering. It's fantastic to have you here, whether you're joining us for the first time or returning to continue the journey with this growing community. This user group was primarily created with a simple purpose to bring together people who are passionate about building, learning, and innovating with Copilot Studio. Every session here is an opportunity to explore new capabilities, share practical things, and connect with others who are shaping the future of AI development. Now, today's session is all about learning, collaboration, and elevating our collective understanding of what's possible within Copilot Studio. So, the topic for today is triggers. So, thank you for taking the time to be here. Let's dive in and learn something new. So, to start with, like this session is recorded. If you do not consent to being part of this recording, please exit this event now. Recordings will be available in the PowerTech Speck YouTube channel. Just to give a high level introduction, myself, Girish Uppal from Brisbane, Australia. I'm an MVP in the business application space and I'm a Power Up program volunteer as well. My colleague Nehal Shah, she's from Brisbane. She's a consultant in business application, primarily specializing in Power Apps and Power Pages. So, what's the news within Copilot Studio space? So, this news is like a collation in the last 2 months. First thing to look into is like the threat detection. So, threat detection has improvised in the Power Platform Admin Center. So, now you can protect your Copilot Studio agent. So, protecting the organization and its assets with the tools that basically help you discover anomalies and take action to improve security. If you navigate to Power Platform Admin Center, you will see some lot of security related improvisation being put over there. Like you can block an image, you can block a URL. So those kind of things you can perform within your Copilot Studio agent, and selectively you can do it for an environment or environment groups. Now, HITL, human in the loop, like it is useful when the agent needs clarification, additional context, or approval to proceed. So we'll see like similar kind of an example in the trigger topic when we present in the second half. Now, action groups from Outlook and SharePoint connectors. Now, makers can add a curated action group. So that's basically simplifying the usage of action within Copilot Studio. So there's a lot going on over there. Like it's basically simplifying how you interact with the agent using agent flows by using various actions. SharePoint grounding, that's a great amount of improvisation being performed at the SharePoint site. Now you can connect to a SharePoint site, you can connect to a SharePoint document library, you can connect to a SharePoint list. There's a whole bunch of tenant graph grounding upgradation happening in the SharePoint space. Improvisation on how agents retrieve and rank information across the organization. So you can also filter SharePoint content using metadata like the file name, owner, modified date, so that you get a proper and a precise response when you ask Copilot to do some actions and retrieve information from SharePoint as a data source. Now, the topic for today is Copilot Studio triggers. So there are like multiple type of triggers. We are going to cover some of the triggers within Copilot Studio. We'll try to cover majority of the topics. Now, for the first topic, I would introduce Nehal to provide basic information about topics, triggers, and work on the classic trigger type. So over to you, Nehal.
Thanks, Girish. Hello, everyone. As Girish mentioned, today we are going to cover topics and triggers. So, let's first understand what is topic and what is trigger and when you can use that. So, let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen? Just
Yes,
give.
you can.
Thanks, Girish. All right. What is topic? So topic is basically it's a core building block of an agent, which allows you to control the flow of the conversation. Gen AI is fantastic, right? But you don't want Gen AI to answer everything every time. let's think about the scenario where you own the brand, or if you are building agent for some brand that want to uh, reply in certain way when user sends any message, or the agent is for any health facility, and there is a safety and health related information given by agent, so you don't want gen ai to take over that and provide misleading information. Another scenario might be the agent is for law firm, or some other companies that might have some legal implications. So in those kind of scenarios, you want uh, control over your agent, and you want to control the conversation when user sends any message to the agent. So when you understand topic, how like we will have multiple topics within the agent. Now how topic knows that when to trigger and when not to trigger. So if anyone of you have used Power Automate, you might understand this better. In Power Automate, we have trigger and actions. So just like that, for eight Copilot Studio agents, we have triggers as well. So trigger will define the trigger phrases to start that topic as well, and then rest of the knowledge or rest of the logic will be implemented on the topic. So trigger is basically essential to tell agent which topic to use when. There are multiple triggers, which is mainly divided into classic and AI orchestration category, which Girish will cover in detail later today. So now when we understand topic and trigger, let me go to Copilot Studio and show you how you can create topics and triggers, and what are different type of topics and triggers. So we are in that Copilot Studio interface, and this is my agent called Classic Orchestration. I will go to topic tab, and you will see there are two type of topics, custom and system. So custom topics are the one that you are going to create to control your custom conversational experience, and the system topics are the one that comes out of the box and which makes Copilot little better, uh, including things like error handling, greeting, or taking the feedback, all those sorts of things. So now, if you see on the right side of the screen, I already have this hello, I'm Classic Org. How can I help? And you see, as soon as I clicked on that, that conversation start topic opened up. So that's basically system topic conversation start, and you will see that message written within that topic. So hello, how can I help? You can always go ahead and uh, change that message to greet or to start the conversation. So maybe let me put some extra text here with smiley and just save that. So as soon as you will save and just refresh, you will see that message has changed now, and whatever modifications we did, that's a conversation starter now. So just like that, you have updated your first topic. So that's about system topic. Let's talk about custom topic. So to create custom topic, you have this add topic button, where you will find two options: add from from blank and add from description. Let me click on add from description. So when you click that option, you will be asked name and some description. That will also give you few examples. So if you haven't worked with topic before, I think this will be a good place to start by choosing one of the example. So let's choose, let's some order a pizza. So let me do order a pizza, and then just name a topic, ordering pizza, and just hit create. So in background, Copilot will create um, ordering the pizza topic with some triggers and actions. So anything after trigger is called actions. On the right side, you will see this edit with Copilot. This screen will show you that what we asked for and what Copilot has added. So Copilot has added two question and one message activity, and it will also suggest you few of the examples that will work here. So basically, this topic is created for ordering a pizza. Now if you notice, the trigger says user says a phrase, and we have listed these phrases. So what does this trigger mean is whenever user sends some message including the word pizza or these different phrases, this topic will know that okay, I need to trigger and execute rest of the logic. So how can you edit these phrases? So if you go into this edit, you have this list of phrases. But if you are creating topic from a scratch, you might just have to add type few more phrases. I'll just say pizza, and then click here, and just that will be added in the list. You can remove as well, and you can also create a text file and upload a file with the list of phrases. So that's how you can set up all the phrases. So once the phrases are set up, next is the question node, so where we want to ask the question. So when you click on add a node, you have this different options. So this node, the next action is ask a question. So when you will click on ask a question, the question node will be added, and you can also configure multiple things like multiple choice questions, or age, or city, or number, or date. So here we are going with multiple choice questions, which has three options for pizza. So, and then we also want to save the response that user has provided out of these three options. So that will be saved in the variable. The next node is also question, where we have used the number type of the question, and we are saving the pizza quantity as a user response. And then towards the end, we are just using those variables that we have configured in above actions, and we are just saying okay, you have ordered uh, 2 XYZ pizza, thank you for your order. So now let me just go ahead and show you how this topic is going to work. So we have provided this trigger phrases, which means if I'll write pizza and enter, it will ask me first question, what type of pizza would you like to order? And because we have predefined options for the user, it will also give me a few options. So I'll say how many pizza, and then I'll say 2, and then it gave me message that you have ordered 2 margarita pizzas, thank you for your order. Now I want to make this little bit interesting, so just instead of just this text message, I want to show uh, the image and some links. So if you see on this message node, you have this add button here, and you have few options. So you can do file, image, video. You can, if you want to be fancy, you can create really nice adaptive card and also configure here. For now I'm going to do basic card, and I'm going to pop a few details there. So I'll say title Margarita Pizza, and then as a subtitle, I'm going to give some text. And for image URL, I just have found some Google image, and I'm going to provide the link of this Google image. And for text, I'm going to say that this is a Domino's link, just show as a text. And then that is our card configured. Now you can see, you already can see in this message that it will look like this, and just save that. All right, now I'll say pizza again, and I'll choose margarita this time. Maybe I'll eat 4 pizzas, and it will give me message because we still have that message, and then it will give me this basic card that we have configured. So this is our topic for ordering a pizza. Now, let's say this topic is triggering when user comes and says pizza. But let's say while ordering the pizza, user got some call and user became inactive, and you also want to control the inactivity of the user. So what you will do, we also have so I'll go ahead and go start the topic from a blank this time, and you can see there's this little arrow to change a trigger. I'll go change a trigger and type inactivity, inactive, sorry. So now this user has trigger has a user inactivity trigger, and then I just want to say, yeah, so just a message that uh, you are inactive from a while. Do you want to continue ordering your pizza? And I'll just save this. And of course, I need to inactive user ordering pizza. All right. So our topic is ready when user is inactive. Now it that this trigger is saying the user is inactive for a while. Now a while is very generic. What if you want control over how many minutes user is inactive, and then only you want to send message. So if you go into edit mode, you will see by default we have inactivity duration 30 minutes. Now, of course, I don't want to wait for 30 minutes to test my agent for inactivity. So in the drop down, the minimum option we have is 15 minutes. And I also don't want to wait for 15 minutes, right? So I'll go ahead and click on formula. So we had 15 minutes selected, and now it came to 900 seconds. So maybe let's say I want to wait for 10 seconds for inactivity. And I'll just close this and save. And just refresh. All right. So we have our welcome message, and maybe we will say pizza. And now we will not do anything and wait for 10 seconds to see if that um, trigger is calling that topic or not. So All right, I think it's more than 10 seconds now. Um, and we can see that there is nothing came up here. Our topic did not work. It is bit um, difficult to test this inactivity user testing in this interface. So what we will do, we will go to channels, and you see this demo website. When you click on this one, it will complain about the authentication. So when we have this Microsoft authentication on, we can't use the demo website. So let's first go to settings and go to security, and let's say authentication, and let's set it to no authentication. So now it's set to no authentication. Let's close the settings and publish our agent. It may take a while to publish. Should not be long. Yeah, okay. So that's published now, and it will complain that we don't have any authentication. That's fine for now. We just want to test that topic. So when you click on demo website, open demo website, this website will open up, and it will greet us with that. And then we will say pizza. And now we will not do anything and just wait for a few seconds, and we'll see if that topic is triggered on our inactivity or not. Yeah, so you can see now we have a message: you are inactive from a while, do you want to continue ordering a pizza? And it is very smart to pick up from the second question. So it will just go ahead and ask you the same question where it left off. So yeah, so when you set up that inactivity user topic, that is how you can test, because it's not going to work in this test your agent interface. The next thing I wanted to show you is, let's say user has ordered a pizza, and now you want to get some feedback after ordering, after taking the order. So how will you take the feedback? Let's say let me first make one new topic, and from black, this time I will choose the topic it's redirected to, and I will just say it's redirected to feedback topic. And I'll just name this topic as feedback and save it. Now, once our feedback topic is ready, you can put any other logic, like you can give questions, what is your feedback, and give more options, just like we gave options for pizza. But right now, I just want to show you how you can use this redirected to trigger. So once that redirected to trigger is done, I will go to ordering a pizza. And after showing the message, maybe I want to redirect to the feedback topic. So what I'll do, I'll click on that plus, go to topic management, go to another topic, and I will search for feedback, and then it will come. So this is a feedback topic. Now save. Now this agent will know that once order is done, this message is shown, and then it has to go to feedback topic and ask for feedback. So let's try that out. Say pizza, then I'll say margarita, then I'll say just one pizza. And then you see here now, if this message is shown from the other topic, it's redirected to feedback topic. So this is how you can redirect from one topic to another. Your logic can be anything, but yeah, this is how you can set up the flow of your agent, how your agent will flow from one conversation to another. So that is how you can set it up. Another last but not least trigger that I want to show you is change trigger. A message is received. So this is the trigger when user will say like send any message. Previously when we had a trigger called user says a phrase where we are expecting certain phrases to from the user, but in this case we want to trigger this topic when user sends any kind of message. So I'll just go ahead and just send a message and just say this is a message topic, and I'll just say message and then save it. And our other topic had trigger phrases of pizza and etc. But maybe let me say hi. So it will redirect to this is a message topic, but it also knew and use the system topic where it greets when you say hi. So but yeah, basically if user is sending any kind of message which is not defined in any trigger phrases of any other topic, then you can use this message received and you can use redirected to topic uh, action, and you can redirect to appropriate topics. So that is all I wanted to show you guys today. I will hand over to Girish. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, thanks, Nehal. Let me know once you see my screen. Yeah.
Can see.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So thanks, Neil, for sharing like couple of triggers with regards to inactivity, with regards to user says the phrase, message received, etc. Now we are going to deep dive into some other triggers. Now before we deep dive into other triggers, I just want to give you a conceptual understanding about triggers. Now, the topic which we are talking about is the topic triggers. So, there are multiple triggers. So, topic triggers, event triggers, system triggers. Now, at high level, you have this two classification, topic and event triggers. Now, event triggers is when you make your agent autonomous. Now, when we all think about agent or bot, we think about a conversational bot, right? Like say user types in something, you get the response back from the AI. But what if I want an agent which does not interact directly with an end user, but then you get to know, like say, kind of if something happens in the backend, like if some data is added into the database, or if some activity happens at some say dataverse level, or maybe at a SQL server level, or a SharePoint level, if someone uploads a file, or if you receive an email, then the event triggers comes into picture. Now, topic triggers, there are multiple ways through which you can trigger the topic, user utterances, questions, keywords, etc. But if you actually see, there are like so many triggers over here. Like there is a user is inactive for a while, a plan completes, AI generated response, on talk to representative, it's invoked, it's redirected. So there are so many things. Like, are we going to use all these things? I can tell you that maybe you may use some or the other triggers, but not all in your Copilot agent. But it is essential to understand what these all things do, like so that you understand the capability of the platform. Okay, so we'll go into all these triggers one by one. So agent chooses, redirected to, user is inactive for a while, message received, conversation changes, it's invoked, plan completes, AI generated response about to be sent. But before we go into that, we need to understand the segregation between this. So if you have an agent which is configured from a classic orchestration perspective, you get one trigger, user says a phrase. if you have an agent which is configured from a generative orchestration perspective, like you use a large language model, you get a configurational information from utilizing various models from OpenAI, Azure AI Foundry, or maybe Anthropic, you get an option to select from the agent chooses, a plan completes, and AI generated response is about to be sent. There are other triggers which are common across classic orchestration. So remember, like Nehal mentioned about, it's redirected to, or user is inactive for a while, or maybe a message is received. Now this is common across whether you use a classic orchestration agent or a generative orchestration agent. Now, again, this is like a screenshot of what is there in the current system. So remember this earlier, this currently it is named as the agent chooses, but earlier the name was something else. It was like by agent. So I just thought of putting it over here. So it keeps on changing, but it is important to understand that these are like one and the same thing. Now, first thing, agentic AI. As I mentioned to you, two type of trigger: topic trigger, system triggers. Now here, if you add a trigger at an agent level, that is like you will make this agent like autonomous. So that agent need not interact with user directly. It can operate on basis of some signal, like a file being added to SharePoint or an email is received to an inbox. These are the different set of triggers, and these are the descriptions for that specific trigger. So we'll go into one by one. Now, first thing and foremost, we need to understand that when we ask something to an agent, the agent basically passes the information to the generative orchestration. A plan is executed, so a plan is generated. Once a plan generation is completed, a response is generated, and after that, a response is generated and it is presented to the user back. Now this is like a big path, right? Now what if I want to intercept request over here? So when an agent is generated a plan, I want to intercept that request. That means I will maybe pause agent execution, or maybe I may set some variables or set some parameters. Even over here, so if you see plan completed, then we have AI response generated. Now plan is completed, LLM or the large language model has generated the response as well, but it has not been sent to the user. Now you can intercept the request over here. Now you may ask like why it is required, See, artificial intelligence, yes, they will give you a like a response to a query, but not necessarily every time you will receive a correct response, or accidentally some personal information may be shared by an agent, which that agent is not supposed to share. So you get an additional check to make over here to see whether the agent is behaving as what is intended. It is not sharing maybe credit card information or Medicare number, or a like for income tax ID number, or maybe TFN, or any other personal identifiable information. So those things can be tracked over here. Now trigger plan completes. So where do we use that? Like when a plan is completed, you get an option to intercept that request, and you can perform various things like setting a variable, logging a request, perform some cleanup activities, run some background process, or maybe even you can format the response. Sometimes the agent may give you a response in a specific format. You have an option to control that as well using the plan complete. This is another trigger which is available, like AI response generated trigger. Now here you get an option to, when an LLM has generated a response but yet not sent the message out, you can check following things. You can check whether the agent has provided an information which violates any policy within your organization, or maybe add a disclaimer text, or maybe you want to redact some information, or maybe check some compliance parameters, or accidental PII, or maybe this is an interesting one, language translation on the fly. What does this mean is you ask a question to an agent in English, and maybe in your code you might have written some logic to perform some operation, and suddenly you ask question in Spanish, and now what you want is like agent to respond in Spanish. So you can intercept that request and make it multilingual without even getting into that configuration mode. So Over here, I have created this Winter Olympics 2026 agent. This agent I've just created, there's nothing in it, in instructions, knowledge, I haven't added any stuff. Now, just to show you, when you use this trigger over here, you are basically making this agent autonomous. So you can add a trigger. So if I click on add a trigger, I have multiple options I get. There are some feature triggers and there are like a whole plethora of library available. So there are 11 feature triggers, and if you go into say maybe all, you get 844 triggers. It can be an independent trigger which happens at a schedule like daily, monthly, weekly, fortnightly, or maybe it is on relation to something like if you receive a form survey, or if you an item is created in SharePoint, or maybe an item is modified or a file is created. So you get whole bunch of triggers over here. We are not specifically talking about this. Now, when you create an agent, you get couple of options. If you go into the settings, you get this option like orchestration. You can make your agent Gen AI or not. Now you might say, when we have Gen AI, why do we use classic orchestration? There are multiple scenarios whereby you can use classic orchestration, because like if you have a strict data requirements, or if you just want to confine your response to a specific document or maybe internal data source, and you don't want any response from internet or web or internal LLM knowledge, you can configure classic orchestration. So there are multiple use cases for that as well. Okay, what if you select Gen AI orchestration? So I just X out of it. And now let's go into the topic. Now, if I go into the topic, I have an option to create a topic as what Nehal showed you, from blank or add from description with Copilot. Now, if I go into blank, I see this screen. This by default for Gen orchestration, it uses the agent chooses. Now you have this button to change the trigger. So you can at any point of time change the trigger and pick up a message is received. Or maybe you pick a custom client event occurs. Now, I'm not going to make any change over here. Let me just go into the test your agent and let me ask some information. I'll say, so let me start a new test session. And over here, I will just keep it as topic, maybe 1. And I'll just click on, I'll just keep it agent chooses, and I'll just click on save. Now you need to specify some actions below over here. I'm just creating one topic and I'm defaulting it to the agent chooses. Now I have also created other agents which I'm going to show you, which has all this different kind of triggers over here just as a backup if something doesn't work. Now I'll also open this in a different tab. So I'll just refresh the screen so that we can go into each and every topic and then parallelly work on it. Okay, so this agent is there. Now let me close this, click on test, and maybe I can go ahead and start a new test session, or maybe I'll just say hello. And here that agent is triggered. I will ask who won maximum gold. So I'm just asking, like, for Winter Olympics 2026, which country won the maximum gold? So I got a response. The country that won the max gold as of now is Norway. Okay. Now, just see what happened. I asked the question, it went into internet and got me the latest information. Okay. Now, can I control this response? Like, I'm talking about something in between over here. Like, I want to intercept this request. Can I do that? Or if I like this, or maybe if I dislike this, it gives me a form and I type in some information and I click on submit. Can I control this action? Okay, so that's another thing to think through. Okay, so that's fine. I'll just copy this because we're going to use this again and again. Okay, coming back to the topic over here. So here, agent chooses. Okay, now instead of that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select a plan complete. Okay, and I'll say discard your content. And oh, sorry, I edited the wrong topic. I edited the greeting topic, which I shouldn't have. Let me go into the topic. I'll say leave. and I'll go to topic 1, and from here I will select the agent chooses, and from here I will select a plan completes. And I'm not going to write any specific logic. I'll just say plan is completed. Now again, I mentioned to you, if you want to set any variable or if you want to perform any cleanup operation, you can perform this over here. You can write your business logic over here. So I'm just giving you an example of plan complete agent. So plan is completed. So I'll just click on save. Now I'll parallelly go into the other, like say other tab, so that it is much quicker. So once that is saved, okay, coming back, I'll go to the topic and then I'll add another topic from blank. And this one, I'm going to change the agent trigger to an AI generated response is about to be sent. Okay, so I'll just add a node, send a message, AI response yet to be sent. AI response yet to be sent. So I have created two topics and I've used the Gen AI triggers, AI response generated and plan complete. Now let me go into the new session now, or maybe I'll use the same session. I'll again ask who won max gold. Now if you see what happened over here, who won max gold, you get two items listed over here. So it has automatically triggered AI response is yet to be sent and a plan is completed. So what happens is, like when an AI generates a response, first before it even generate a response, it will plan it. So it will create a plan out of it. Once the plan is completed, you get a control. You can go ahead and run some background process, change the variable and all those things, and then it will generate a response. Now you can even control the response as well. So if you see, AI response is yet to be sent and we have kind of intercepted the response. Now if you see, this is somewhat like this, right? Like it is not in a proper format. Like what if you want to control the format? Now yes, you can go into the agent and then put into the instruction and then control the format. However, if I go into the topic, so if I go into the topic and AI response yet to be sent, I will say what I want over here is, like, I'll keep this node so that we know that it is coming from this topic. Now enter a message here. If I go into the insert variable under system and if I just type in response, now you get control of lot of things. So you get response citations, response formatted text, response plan step, response rewritten query. So let me see response rewritten query. Then I will pick up another thing. Now these are like important controls you get, so you can control a lot of things. So response formatted text, and you can get into other variables as well. So I'm not going to bother about that. I'll just click on save. Now again, what we have done, we have just said that we are going to rewrite the response. My prompt is same, who won max gold. Again, it goes to the plan, it generates a plan, and now you will see there are two items generated. One is by the AI, and second, it is coming from your topic. Now, if we show it twice, user may not be happy. You know, like what if I don't want the information from AI? Can I control it? You know, I just want what I want over here. Like this is my response, but both look same. I can go ahead and, you know, like do a proper formatting, or I can do a whole bunch of things. So for that, what I can do, I add a node and I will set a variable, and there is a special variable over here in system. So let me go ahead and set a variable. So I can go ahead and create a new variable. I can control various options. I can pick up client plugin action. I can conversation.local time zone. I can use user.language. So I can use this particular interface to modify the input which has been received by this agent. So I can perform all those operations. So I'm not going to do that. I'll quickly jump into the another topic. Now let me go into the topic. Let me save this and let me go into the topic of AI response yet to be sent. Now here in AI response yet to be sent, I'll add a node and I will go to variable management, set a variable value, go over here, go to system, And now here you get another variable which was not there for plan complete called as continue response. So what you can do, you can set this value and you can say, go into the formula and say continue response is false. So what you are essentially doing, you're masking the agent response, and only response whatever you type over here will be sent to the user. You click on save and then again you ask the same question and it will return back with only the response. So as you see over here, now we got only one response and not two response because it has masked the user response, and whatever we have typed in has appeared over here. Now I can go ahead and say that, hey, I can pass this to another prompt and say, hey, can you list the response in a bulleted way, or maybe only show the country name, don't show anything else apart from that. I can do that, so I need not rely on the agent response. So that's about plan complete and also about the AI response yet to be sent. Let's go into the topic again and add a topic from blank. All right, so if I click over here, I get to see other things like messages received, as what Nehal mentioned, that you can use it to trigger for every message you receive, right? So if I click on messages received and send a message received, and I'll name the topic as message received. Again, our same prompt, who won max gold, and you get this thing. First it will trigger this topic, message received, then our other thing like AI response yet to be generated, this is what we decided, and this is what plan is completed message. So now message is received. Now for every message you type in, it will give you that message received, but ideally we would not like to have that, right? So you go into edit, and now here you can set a condition and you can say, if the user asks about medals, then only show this message, so you have an option to control that. And also you have an option to set, you can only run it once, and you can set multiple priorities, lower number being the highest. So if you have a clash, the lower number wins, right? So this is how you can set that competing priorities. Now, okay, if I go into the topic and if I go into message received, and here again coming here edit. Now if you're going to edit, you set a condition. Now activity type is message, right? You can perform other operations as well. Now if you see that I have so many options, we are going to focus on message delete, reaction, and update. Now what is it is that if this agent is published into, say, let's assume Teams, and agent is interacting, and if a user types in a prompt and user deletes that prompt, you can track that using message delete. If user updates that prompt, you can track that, and if a user do a thumbs up, you can interact with that. So that's about message edit, delete, and those things. So let's do this message delete. Okay, so I'll not use this trigger, I'll just cancel out of it. I will create another topic. So I'll just say leave topic, add a topic from blank, and this time I'm gonna select a message is received, edit, select what you want. I want message delete to be tracked, send a message deleted on, maybe you can just track using some 10 Feb or something. Yeah, you can put your business logic over here and now you can track it. So message deleted. Now why it is useful, like if you are submitting this information to, say, Teams, and if you are tracking user behavior, then you can actually intercept those requests. Now I said Teams, right? But if you click on an activity occurs edit, you will see message delete. So activity type is message deleted. So here you get an option of suggestion, trace, typing, command, and so on and so forth. Now you can also select a specific channel as well, like so which channel this topic will trigger on, and then you can put some conditions around it. Like if you click on edit a condition, select a variable, you can go ahead and select various environment variable, you can select various system variables, and then you can form those condition. All right, so that's about message deleted. Now again, I'll just go into topic and I'll go to add a topic from blank, and this time I'm going to pick up something else. So maybe invoked, it's invoked, designed for advanced input such as button click from Teams. Okay, now I'll just write a message. This is now invoked. So what they say is, like, if you use invoked, like if you do any action within Teams, specifically in Teams, like you do a search in Teams, or if you want to track a button action, you can use this trigger. But I haven't published to team as of now. I will just name this as invoked, click on save, and now again our same thing, we will ask the same request, who won max gold. And as likely, we got message received, AI response yet to be sent, the response which we typed, plan is completed. Now message received, like if I just click on this and I can specify my experience, I'll say this is a poor response, and I'll click on submit. And now if you see in the recent message, you have got this is now invoked. Now remember, we just created this, right? It's invoked. So that means if you click on this feedback form, like if you click on like or dislike, irrespective of whatever you select, it will ask you about your experience. You can actually track the submit button. So if someone has provided you a feedback, whether it is a good feedback, bad feedback, what you can do, you can get this information and also pass into, say, maybe a prompt, or maybe you specify like a sentiment detection module, and then you can decide the sentiment of the user. So you can even capture that. Now it need not happen over here, even if a user types in a message. So if I type in this message, or maybe if I type something not good, you can even track this for sentiment, like how Nehal mentioned to you about a message is received. So you can even track each and every sentiment. Now see, we are going in much depth in terms of triggers, right? Because we want to control each and every aspect. I know agent is going to operate independently, AI is involved, LLM is involved, it is getting matured, but somewhere down the line we need to take that control back, or maybe at least have some sort of like a layer between the agent response and the human response. So like that, you can perform various operations. So what I can do, I can take this agent, I'll publish it, it will publish to Teams, and then we can see those operations. Now what I've done is, like, I've created this trigger, like an agent called as demo all trigger, and have published into Teams. So I can ask about maybe OS open winner, and sometimes I may even block the internet access, but this is coming from the internet directly, and that's why it is able to get the information back. But as you see over here, I have blocked internet, and that's why 2026 is not visible, right? 2026 winner you don't get. So yes, if I block the internet, I'll say just use it from your internal knowledge source, and if the internal knowledge source is marked till 2025, you will not get that response back. Now again over here, I can like it, I can say not good, but I just like it. And again over here, I have written that trigger button click invoked, example of invoked trigger. In this example, I have so many triggers created, like the demo AI response generated, custom client event occurs, message received, parent topic redirection, which Nehal explained, plan complete, redirected to, conversation change, invoke, message deleted, reacted, updated. So let's test this message deleted, reacted, and updated. Now if I go inside this topic, there's nothing much written, it's just message deleted in Teams, message reacted in Teams, message updated in Teams. Now if you publish this agent, then you will be able to get to see all those in action. So let's go to channel, let's go to Teams, and now over here I can I can see whether this channel is being used. Yes, it is being used. So you have an option to view it in M365 or in Teams. I'll go in Teams, see agent in Teams. I won't open the client app. I will use the web app instead. And once this agent is published in Teams, here you will get a prompt to either add an agent or open an agent. Now I've already added it previously, that's why I can see the open button. I'll go ahead and click on open, and then this agent is ready. So I've interacted with this agent previously. Let me do one more thing. I'll say hello, and I can ask for any information, like so agent is typing, it'll just greet. I'll say Oz Open Women Doubles winner. Now I'm being much specific. I'm not just asking Oz Open winner because it has just given a singles male event, but I'm specifically asking for it. Now I got a big response because I did something in the topic. So I have asked for like the backend JSON value. I've also asked some prompt what has been typed in, and this is the actual response, right? So I got this response. Now I can go ahead, I'll say, oh, instead of I typed here Oz Opens women's double winner, no, I didn't want this. I wanted Oz Open men doubles winner. So I'm updating the message over here. Now remember, like when we update the message, we have written a trigger, message updated in Teams, and that's why it has come over here, right? Also, if I like this, and if I say submit over here, submit info, something, click on submit. Now remember in our agent, test agent, we had this button click invoked. So we have used the invoked trigger. So that's why it has button click invoked. Also, if I like this message, or maybe I'll just like this message, then also we can track. It should give message reacted or something. Or I will just come over here and maybe delete this message, and I'll say this message has been deleted. Now if you see, message deleted in Teams. Now similarly here you have seen message updated in Teams, message deleted in Teams. So in a nutshell, what we have achieved over here is, like if I go into this agent, we have looked into various triggers. There are, and specifically I'm talking about a topic level trigger. Now in a topic level trigger, we need not rely on just a user says a phrase in classic orchestration or the agent chooses. I would advise you to explore other aspects. A message is received, a custom client event occurs, an activity occurs. Now remember, this activity occurs. So if I click on activity occurs, and if I click on edit, here I can even get the value of the activity. Like if you see activity type, as I mentioned to you, there are so many things. If a Copilot starts typing or thinking, I can even track or intercept that request. I can track the command request. I can track this one we already seen. There's a handoff or installation update. So handoff means giving it off to say some human agent or maybe some voice services. So you can even track that event as well. Or maybe you can track end of conversation. So these all things are quite possible within the system. Also, an activity occurs over here. If I change this to custom client event occurs, now again, this is a special kind of a trigger. Here, what you can do is, like say, take for example, you have a power apps or maybe a power, let's assume power apps, canvas app, model driven app. Someone clicks a button in power app, you have an ability to trigger an agent in Copilot Studio, pass on the information, and then the agent will process it. So with custom client event occurs, you have that capability to do that. And I'm not just talking about power apps. It can be any system. It can be a third-party API, which can trigger the Copilot Studio agents. So that's it, folks. This is all about all the triggers within Copilot Studio. I hope you liked the session. I know we were a bit fast in terms of explaining this because there were so many triggers to cover, but I would advise you to click on each and every trigger, understand what it is. Just don't go by the definition mentioned over here. Like it's invoked, it is showing as a button click from Teams, but it is not that. it is more than that. So as I showed to you, like we can even take the feedback form and then we can invoke that, right? So there are many things which you can perform, and Teams is just one channel. There are other channels like Facebook or maybe any other custom channel which you create. You can track those events within the system. So I'll leave it there, and I thank you guys for joining the session. So we have another session coming on March, I believe March 10th. So I'll just float out the topic in our Copilot Studio User Group. But anyways, like thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next session.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.